All right, welcome to the tasting. I have Jake, or better known as Dogsick Fetch, on pretty much any social media mead making outlet you find, here to really share his version of this. I think as you guys have seen in this video, I've talked about the changes that have occurred, and one of the big changes is a change of yeast, process, pectic enzyme, cold maceration, as I talked about earlier. So we're gonna kind of stair-step our way into this. I've made this a couple times since. I think you have too. You said you sent yours to a competition, right?
Yeah, Storm Heron competition.
Okay, how'd it do?
It made it 4 rounds in.
Okay.
So, farther than I expected it to go.
So we're gonna start with my next version. I followed some more of your protocols, as I'll call them. I cold macerated my blueberries for this one, used pectic enzyme, but I didn't use the BM 4x4, which is the notable yeast that you said works really well for getting the berry character, working on trying to actually pronounce berries, which is what the 4x4 does, as you said.
Yes, works great with big reds. Huge, big mouthfeel, it's awesome. Can't recommend it enough.
I wish I had a side shot. Okay, so this is using EC1118, which I don't know if it's known for berry profile, berry brews. I've never really heard of it used in that context, but I thought it'd be interesting. It does have a common problem of blowing off characters, which is why a lot of people don't like using it. So what do you get from this one?
Tons of berries. Reminds me classically of what I think that this recipe smells like. This is tons of berries on the nose. Cinnamon is there, and right after it. Yeah, smells great.
Want to try it? These are pretty young too. I don't remember. This is the older of the two. The newer of the two is very young, 2.5 months. This one might be 4.
This tastes exactly like mine. This is fantastic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. So one thing I note about this one is I do like the berry note, like we're talking about. There is that cinnamon. I feel like that's where it gets really tough. This recipe, if you don't time your cinnamon well, it can be overwhelming. And so you really have to do it to taste, and honestly, taste test every day.
It is a daily taste test. After a week, you should probably taste every day just to see.
Yeah. And cinnamon, have you noticed the cinnamon presence increasing in your brews with cinnamon over time?
Not over time.
Okay.
No, I haven't noticed them growing. Maybe the warming sensation, I kind of notice it going away, but the cinnamon flavor generally in mine stays around.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like mine definitely doesn't fade. It more so increases over time. Especially like my apple cinnamon recipe is one that notably has increased with cinnamon flavor over time. I don't know. That's an interesting fact. Now I do want to get to the bigger one for us, which is, I'm going to call this the final recipe, and I'm pretty confident in that. So we have, you'll see they're pretty much the same. The only difference with this one is he used blueberries in the primary and secondary, right?
Correct.
You did half and half. Was this a 5-gallon batch?
5-gallon batch. I did 15 pounds in primary and 12 pounds in secondary.
Okay, so I only ended up doing 15 pounds in primary. So I guess I didn't come back and add more of that. That's gonna be fun to taste. Okay, we're gonna clear our glasses and get this new one. Let's start with yours.
Sweet.
We'll kind of bounce back. Okay, so we're gonna taste test Jake's now. Again, the only difference between ours really is the use of blueberries in the secondary for him, not for me. Is this my glass?
Yes,
Okay.
those 2 are yours.
Okay. Oh, that color. Did you add anything like Opti Red or anything to like the color of this is way more purple red, I feel like, than the previous one.
Yeah.
Dude,
Bright,
I love
bright
that color.
ruby. Yeah.
Oh, that is a lot of berry on the nose.
When I got into secondary, I didn't have enough berry presence. I wanted it to hit you in the face with blueberries, and it didn't this time around. So I thought, should put 12 pounds in secondary.
Yeah, so initially I get a lot of blueberry brightness, honestly, bright, warm note. And then that cinnamon is like on the front of your nose is a sweet blueberry, and then it like way back here is the cinnamon. It's kind of like not a feeling, but
Yeah, it's like a little more of a sensation.
got a little tingle. Yeah. Let's try it. Ooh, yeah. Yours is, what was your final gravity? Do you recall?
Oh, I never measured.
No. Okay. So I feel like yours is just a smidge sweeter. But it's got a nice, like because you added blueberries in the secondary, you're able to continue to pronounce that character, which I like. That's good.
It's definitely blueberries first.
One thing,
and then honey.
So this recipe, not only does it churn out pretty quickly, it also matures pretty quickly. I'll say that, like, my versions I've made have been less than 2 or 3 months old and pretty dang good, like not very hot.
You don't have to wait long before this is excellent to serve.
That's good. Yeah, I love that. The brightness. Let's try mine now. Again, only difference being addition of blueberries. Color-wise, I'm gonna comparing them. I feel like we got really close this time.
Very similar.
Like mine's maybe a little darker. You got a little more clarity than me, frankly. I'm gonna top you off.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, yours is a little more clear, but their color-wise are
very similar.
Okay, so here's mine. No blueberries.
Oh, wow.
I feel like mine's more warm.
Warm is in like alcohol?
No, bright. Not as bright. Not as So, yeah, not heat-wise.
Yeah, because there's no. I'm not sensing any hotness off of this at all. Oh, it smells like it's gonna be smooth.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, man.
The difference, if I could note, I think adding blueberries in the secondary just really added maybe the acidity. Maybe it helped add some more acidity, because this feels doesn't have as much acidity to it in comparison.
I think that yours is a little smoother.
Did you oak yours? Mm-hmm. Okay, the same.
I did medium toast Hungarian oak cubes. For about a month or so.
They are different, I will say. But I do believe that they both hit nice spectrums of blueberries. On that note, all blueberries are different. Like when you're making something, you kind of have to go and taste test them. You might have more acidic blueberries, or you might have really sweet and warming and fruity blueberries. You got to kind of taste them.
Yeah, I think the only difference really is a little more brightness in mine, but I think yours is a little more well-rounded.
Well, I think if I were going to change anything on this, I feel pretty confident. I honestly would add some blueberries in the secondary, and I would add maybe not half and half, quite like you did. I think I would only do 25%, maybe 15%, just to really try to pronounce more blueberry acidity brightness that you get from your version.
Do you recall what honey you used in secondary?
I think it was orange blossom.
Okay. I used sweet clover,
Okay.
which has a really strong cinnamon note. So I think there's a couple layers of cinnamon that you're kind of experiencing here. If you get a chance to mess around with sweet clover, it's awesome.
I'll have to, I don't know. I think I have. I don't know if I used it or not.
The great thing about this recipe is you have seen many different iterations.
Yeah.
And every time it's awesome. It has something really amazing to add. And this is one of those recipes that isn't that hard. You can start with the base original recipe, 3 pounds of berries per gallon, some cinnamon sticks, some honey, and it turns out amazing. And you can keep adding to it like we have in our several iterations. And it's so easy and accessible. Anyone who doesn't know what Mead is, I would say try this. And they love it. My friends and family just dive headfirst in it whenever I make a batch of this.
I would totally agree. And I would say that a lot of this boils down to process. And the couple changes in process, pectic enzyme, cold macerating, letting your blueberries actually leach out their juice through that kind of process too, is helpful. So don't just throw your fruit in sometimes. Like actually look at what process you can use to make it better, which is a good segue to talk about how to do that. You can talk about mead making questions, and if you want to know how to treat blueberries or peaches or whatever, hop into I'm going to promote the one that Jake's, he's a moderator in one of mine, which is Man-Made Mead Discord. You can find that below, but he's also a big part of the Doing the Most Discord. You can find him anywhere in there. He's one of many people who's very open to talking about these things. So hop on into there and chat with us. And we hope that you will go and make this recipe, which the final recipe, I think I'm going to declare a final recipe on this, is down below and right here on the screen. And hope you guys will go make it. So thank you for your additions. Thank you for helping me realize what I was doing wrong, because I honestly had not investigated some of these things. So we would not be here without you.
You made a killer recipe, and I just dialed it up a little bit, and then you dialed it up again. So here we are.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.